What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. Um, happy hump day. I think it's Wednesday. Yeah. It's been a long week and it's already Wednesday. It's only Wednesday. Hopefully you can see me. Um, let me check. Let me make sure. Let me see. I don't know. Um, hopefully you can hear me. You can see me. Um, oh yeah, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. And you know what that means. Um, Absolutely nothing. Um, I hope you can. I hope at some point you can see my face. But if not, it's okay. This is fine. This is fine. Um, Great start. Great start. Anyways. Oh no. Yes. Already getting errors. Perfect. Perfect. We love to see it. We love to see it. Um, well, hopefully you can see me, but I'm not gonna be able to tell if you are. So hopefully we'll just keep an eye on it and see if it's good. But yeah, welcome. Come on in, pull up a chair, pull up a seat. Um, Come hang out. We'll get this figured out. I think hopefully you're not still seeing the intro. I didn't mean for it to go for that long. Maybe if I maybe that'll help. Um, but yeah, today we're gonna talk about love. We're gonna talk about some love because I'm in a very lovey-dovey mood. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Um, mm, I'm trying to see. Hopefully, I'm trying to see when uh, the intro, if it's just the intro the whole time. Because when I log into the live stream, it's just my intro still going. So I don't know what's up with that, but um, I wonder what happens if I refresh. I wonder what happens. Sorry guys, we're figuring things out. We're getting it worked on. Um, so just hold. We're still in it. We're still here. Um, I'm wondering if you can even hear me. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just refresh this. So hopefully this doesn't kill everything. see if this will help things. I'm gonna refresh. So if you're still listening, I appreciate you. We're gonna get into it in probably like 5 minutes. So get your snackies, get cozy. We'll see what happens when I do this, and if it ruins everything, I apologize. We'll find out. Okay, so far so good. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, this might be all right. This might be all right. Okay, there we go. All right, at least we're seeing something. I'm seeing something on my end. Hopefully it's not too laggy. And maybe it will be. I don't know. I don't know. We'll we'll press on. We'll figure it out. We'll see if we'll see what's going on. So once again, scuffed galore, but hopefully it gets better. Like last time, it kind of fixed itself after 10 minutes. So bear with me. We'll press on and we'll get into it. And if as long as you can hear me, that's really the main point. I know, like I don't know anybody out there if you're actually looking for watching the video, like because really it's just my face and like Phoebe the plant and like my art and stuff, which I guess is cool to look visually, but um, that's I guess secondary for me. Like the real stuff is like the talk and the conversation, the content. So yeah, but hopefully it'll smooth out soon. And we'll just keep it moving. Otherwise, we'll be here for half hour just troubleshooting, and I ain't got time for that. I'm tired. You can tell in my voice already. Um, but yeah, come on in, get some tea. I got my mint tea going today because I really needed it. I said it before, but like something about the mint tea just soothes me. Like it just releases some kind of endorphin or some kind of like chemical in my brain that just like says, okay, it's time to take a load off. It's time to unwind. It's time to stop stressing or stop thinking of even. I'm not even that stressed of a person, but it's just like it just kind of resets my body chemistry to relax. So shout out to mint tea. But yeah, I know I said this next one was gonna be about because I've talked about her quite a bit. But I think what I've realized, well, first of all, it's been really fun because, like I said last time, we've been FaceTiming, a few times a week, and I'm talking like I've said it before, but like 4 or 5 hours each time. And it's so much fun, and it's such a cool thing. Like I've never been one to FaceTime or call. Like most people in my life, like know that it's like you should probably just text me if you want to like a pretty good response time, within a few days. But with her, it's always been different. With her, it's always been like I don't know. She's the one person who like. If she calls, I'll answer. If she texts, I'll make sure I'll try to get back as soon as I possibly can. And it's weird. It's like I don't know. Sometimes I want to I want her. I wish I could show her like what I am to like everybody else and what she sees. She gets to see from me. Like it's weird. I know I'm more attentive to her than I am to pretty much anybody. It's just like the relationship we have. It's just I don't know what it is, I don't know, but yeah. Like I said, I know I said this next one was gonna be about but I think I've decided that well for two reasons really that I'm not gonna. We're not. Even though she's a special soul. Like she's a rare soul who I could dedicate multiple episodes to her. Um, but but the main reason is like she's very special to me, and I'm a big, oh my goodness, I'm a big believer that my phone buzzed in my pocket and it felt like a okay, so I work in the woods. So when something is buzzing on my body, I automatically assume like it's a wasp or something that shouldn't be on my body. You know, if my body is buzzing, it shouldn't be so. So my phone, you just caught my phone buzz, and I was like, oh no, am I getting stung up? Because I've got stung up so many times. But yeah, A is she's very precious to me, and I'm a very big believer in keeping some things just special to yourself and not, it's like our relationship, our friendship is like very, very, very special to me. So I don't want to, put it out there for the world, or I want to keep it. I kind of want to keep it to us. Like, what we have is what we have, between the two of us. And I like that. I like having relationships that stay between us. And plus, I've told her this, but I'm very protective over her. Like I'm like, I don't want anything bad to happen to her ever. I want her to, and not saying that anything bad would happen from this to her, but like I just, I never ever want to be the cause of anything like negative in her life. So yeah, and the second reason being that I don't want to dilute our friendship into content. It's like, yeah, I could spend. I mean, I'll probably touch on a few aspects. Maybe I'll leave her name out of it, but because there's a lot that she shaped my time down here in North Carolina and my life in general. It's just like she's a big part of what makes me today, whether she knows it or not. But I didn't want to dilute that into like just content or just like something to speak on or talk about, even though that's all we do here. And it's also a thing where like with her, I'm very, very intentional. Like I never, ever, ever, ever want her to think that, I'm friends with her for a reason or like a purpose. I never want her to think that I want things from her ever. It's actually why I stopped. I've talked about it before, but she did a few of my tattoos, and I made a conscious like decision once we started becoming friends. It's like, no, I'm not gonna go to her anymore, even though I love her art and I love her style and it's so beautiful, and I would love to just be covered head and toe in her stuff. I made a conscious decision like, yo, I never want her to even think for a second that I'm just friends with her because I want tattoos or like because I want the hookup or whatever it is. I don't ever want her to think I'm using her or like want her for anything, the only thing I don't want anything from her. I want things for her. I want her to be, I want for her to be happy. I want for her and her daughter to be, thriving, and I want her to find all the happiness in the world that she wants. Like I don't want things from her. I want things for her. That's the best way I can put it. So, long story short, it's not gonna be. We're not gonna have any episodes on A. I'll touch on some of the stuff here and there, but I didn't. I want to keep it. I want to keep that ours. But it's fun. It's been fun. We've been like FaceTiming, on the weekends. Sometimes it'll be like 3 or 4 in the morning, and your boy likes to sleep, and she knows it too. So like in the weekdays, she'll cut me off. Like it's funny. She'll be like, "Yo," like last night, we were talking from like 7:30 to like 1 a.m. Just about all stuff. Like I said before, she's very welcoming. Like she invites you into her like world, even on the phone. So it's easy to lose, hours just talking to her and just shooting the breeze. And I try to make her laugh, but she ends up making me laugh more than I make her laugh, which is new to me. It's funny. It's kind of weird. Like, I'm usually the um, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm the funny one, but like I that's my thing. Is like I like being funny and I like making jokes. Um, and sometimes it's 50-50, and sometimes it's like I'm more like the jokester, I guess. But with her, it's not like that. With her, she's the funny one. Like, she's the one that, like, she could do stand up, but yeah. So she'll have me cracking up, and like I'll lose track of time. And it'll be like midnight, and I'm like, dang, I gotta get up. But I'm having too much fun. Just laughing, man. It's been a while since I've laughed like that. It feels good. But yeah, like, she'll cut me off when it's okay, cool. I think it's stopped being laggy, so hopefully it's good. But yeah. So she'll cut me off. Like last night, she's like, "Yo, Chris, you got to go to bed. Like, you got to get up in the morning, you know." But yeah, that's enough. I won't speak on that anymore. Just because, like I said, I want that to be precious to me. Like, she is precious to me, and I'm very protective of her. And so it's like I want to make sure nothing ever even is hinted at, like, content or anything like that. But yeah, today we're gonna talk about love. I was gonna title this "Romance in Your 30s," but honestly, there is no romance in your 30s. I'm just kidding. There is, just not for me. Not for me. I've like, you guys kind of know my not my dating history, but like who I am as a person, as a man. I'm not out here dating even consistently. I'll fall for somebody. Like, it's rare that I fall for somebody, and when I do, I fall hard. And then when I'm, so that's, it's like a commitment. So it's like, then it's like 2 or 3 years of relationship, and then 2 or 3 years of being single, and like not working on myself, but like living life and being single, and then I'll fall in love again, a few years later. So it's like a few years of dating, or no, sorry, a few years of like being single, and then a few years of being in like a serious relationship, and a few years of being single, and a few years, like, that's kind of like the trend I've been on in my 20s and early 30s, which I'm not mad at. It's like a good balance of romance and solitude. But what sparked this conversation tonight was I was watching a podcast called Fun with Dumb. And I know I've talked about this quite a bit, this podcast, but it's such a fun watch, and it's really funny. But they were talking about their grandparents, and I think the main dude, his grandparents died within like months of each other. And they were talking about how heartbreak is a real thing. Like, they can really like kill you. Like, being so brokenhearted and not wanting to go on without them is like, that's a real, a genuine, I don't want to say illness, but it can get you. And then one of them made a comment about, like, they're gonna live forever because they don't fall in love like that. And then that got me thinking, like, would you rather, that's the basis of this whole night, would you rather live forever but never have that kind of heartbreak love, or live, a normal life, an average lifespan, but you have that heartbreak kind of love with somebody? I mean, I'm talking living forever, and you can still have friendships, you can have fun, you can enjoy yourself, but you never have that like heartbreak kind of love that, like, if they die, you want to die. So yeah, that was what sparked this idea of having a conversation about love. Um, and I think what I decided that. Oh my goodness, the tea is working. Did you yawn? If you did, you're in the right spot. This is cozy time. But I personally I would much rather, and which is weird because I'm such an introvert and I'm such a homebody and I keep to myself and I don't like to like you know I don't know, I don't like too many people, but I would rather live a regular lifespan with a heartbreak kind of love than live forever and never have it. That's just me. Um, and like I said, I feel so fortunate because I've talked about Elle before too, but Elle, man, I love that woman and she loved me, and it was like you could feel it. I could feel it with every fiber of my being. Like I am so thankful. Like I can almost like honestly, because of her and that relationship, I honestly feel like I could go 40, 50, the rest of my years, however long I live, and never have like a romance like that again. I could never have that kind of heartbreak love, and I'd be fine. You know, I mean, obviously I want it again, but I I feel like just thankful that I had it in the first place. You know, with her it was like just I don't know. She was like I was thinking about this today. She was like if I could boil down like my ideal type, she was it. Like, and my sister and I were talking about this. She asked me, and I kind of dodged the question because I was still a little like, I don't know. I'm always just, I don't. This is like I said, this is the most I speak on this stuff. So, um, but so I dodged it a little bit, and I gave her like a my typical answer, which I feel bad about. So Sam, if you're listening to this, you were right, and it only hit me later on that like, yeah, Elle was like probably my ideal type. Like she was like, she was sporty, she was funny, she had brown eyes, and she was a brunette. Like that's like my that's we've already talked about. That's my type. Um, like she played softball in high school. Like, cause I mean, I'm a sucker for some hips and like some curves, and she was just down to earth, and she was silly and awkward and nerdy and like all these things that like I said, if this was like Professor X making a Powerpuff Girl or whatever, if that's a weird analogy because his daughters. But if I was like in a lab and like created kind of my type, she was dang near exactly my type. Um, and not only that, but like the like the love that we had for each other was so immense and so real. Even though it ended, I never ever ever want to forget that, or I don't want ever for her to ever like question that, because I did have to leave and like it went the way it did. You know, a lot of relationships just don't end the way you want them to, or they end and you didn't want that in the first place. So it just, but but yeah, she was like that was like my ideal type, I guess. Like I don't know, um, but yeah, love to me. I've decided. Oh, this is off topic too, but y'all, I've decided that I officially want kids. Officially, it's on the books. Maybe I already even said this before and it was officially on the books, but now it's on the books again. I want kids. I want them. I want a little girl, maybe a little boy. I don't know. Boys are a holes, but I feel like I could raise a good man. Um, but I want kids. I do, and I want a family, and yeah, I don't know. It's been on my mind quite a bit, and especially I have some big news coming up here soon that maybe I'll get into later. But yeah. Long story short is I want kids and I want a family and I want that. It's funny. It's like now, I'm 31, so it's like I know time works differently for men, like in this, like, you know, but it's also like I'll be like some out somewhere, like, and I'll see a dad and his kid or a mom and her kid, and I can hear him. I remember I was driving back to work, and I was passing this, like, I don't know if it's like a jujitsu studio or a class or whatever, but obviously there were kid age level groups, and I saw like this mom and her daughter. Like her daughter was in like one of those, what do they call it, gi, like a little outfit for like martial arts, and I could like hear her, like the kid laughing and the mom was laughing, and I was like, oh, and then like it went more than just oh, it was like something inside me was like, oh, I want that. I want like the trips to, you know, taekwondo, and I want to, pick them up after school and have them tell me about what they did, and I want to, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's been on my mind, and it's just like it breaks my heart. Like if I think about it too much, I'll start crying. Like to think about my kids growing up in a world where they never got to meet my mom and dad like that. Like thinking about that just breaks my heart. Um, so yeah, so I need to get moving on it. I guess is what I'm saying. But that's the thing. That's the other thing about me is like it sucks because I am so not like someone to settle. Like I if I go my entire life and I don't find the person I want to have kids with, I just won't have kids. Like I'm just not, or I'll adopt, which I could do that too. I'd be down. Um, but I just I don't know. And if I talk to, I know this is off topic. I know. I mean, I guess it's technically love, but um, it's just been weighing on me recently, especially like after I see, parents with their kids, especially when the parents are like around my age, because you always picture parents as like older than you, but I'm 31. Plenty of people younger than me have had kids. Oh man, another yawn. Um, so yeah, maybe in the near future you'll be seeing, I don't know, because you gotta unless I adopt, you kind of, it's not a solo event to make a kid, I guess, as a man. So I don't know. We'll see. But your boy wants to be a papa. Your boy wants to be a dad, and it's like I don't know if I had kids, like I would honestly consider like moving back to Iowa full time, as long as whoever I'm with is cool with that, because I would love them to grow up with my mom and dad and my family. Like it's just like I don't know, something about the warmth of my family just made me who I am, and I like who I am, and I would love for my kids to run around the farm and hang out with the animals and have my mom read to them and have my pops just like drive them, take them on errands and stuff. Hey, what's up, Marisol? What's up? Glad to see you. Happy Wednesday. How's your week been going? We got kind of sidetracked. I don't know if you've seen, but I was I've been talking about how I want kids. Um, so I don't know where it came from, but we're just talking about that. We're talking about how I want my kids to meet my parents, but how my parents are getting older. So it's like, if I think about it too hard, I'll get sad because I don't know. I don't know. We're talking about the real issues tonight. Um, but yeah, I've always wanted a little girl. Always, always. It's just I don't know. But if I'm like I never like really I don't know. I've never been one to like really picture things like real in depth. Like I've want a big family. Oops, sorry. I want maybe 3 or 4 kids if that's possible. But like I've never put like I have to have 4 kids. It's never been like 2 girls, 2 boys. It's never. It's like all I want. I at least want a little girl if that's in the plans. But like if it's not, it's cool too. Um, but but yeah, in my mind, I have maybe 3 or 4 kids with my wife and we have that classic. It's weird. It's like the older I'm getting, the more I'm like craving that like that soccer dad lifestyle. It's wild. It's wild. I mean, I'm still gonna be the cool dad. I'm gonna take him to concerts, and I'm gonna take him to travel, and we're gonna travel the world, and you know, we're gonna be that family where, like, we try to take trips every year, and they'll get their passports early, is what I'm saying. I'm a big proponent of like I know it's tough. I know it is tough. Like obviously I don't know it for firsthand experience, but I know it's just easier to stay at home or like just easier and it's less expensive. I mean, I know. It's like all these things that like it's a privilege to travel with your kids. I get it. But like I will make that even if it's difficult, even if it's you know, like almost impossible, I will make it happen because I think a I think just because you have kids doesn't mean that you stop doing the things that you love doing. And I love to travel, and I can't imagine a world where I don't travel. You know, um, but I also traveling was like the biggest thing. Like the biggest gift my parents gave me was like they would take us on trips as kids, and just being able to see other places outside of our immediate area was like life changing. So it's for both. It's for me and for them. But I'm talking. We're gonna do family trips and you know you know I don't know, maybe Vietnam. Maybe Chile. Spain, Portugal. Um, and that's kind of where I'm at now. Is like before I was very much like ooh, can you guys still see me? Hopefully. Before I was very much like, you know, I want to do this. I want to travel and do da 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 all this stuff um, before I get to like tied down or settled down. Like everyone kept telling me, oh yeah, now's the time you do it. You don't have kids and all that stuff. And I really ran with that idea. I've traveled a good chunk of the world, and or at least a small little bit. With that mindset of like, okay, I'm gonna do it now because once I have kids or have a wife, it's gonna be tougher. But like, no, forget that. Like, I get logistically it's gonna be tougher with events and school and all this stuff, but like, just because I have kids doesn't mean my drive to travel is gonna go away. And now I'm more like, yo, I want to find, someone who wants to travel the world with me, and then I'm gonna ask like from the date one, like date number one, like I'm 31 now. I gotta cut through all the BS early. So like date number one, I'm gonna ask like, yo, do you want kids? And if you want kids, how do you feel about traveling with kids? Now I'm not talking like infancy. Like that's a different. But I'm talking like when our kids are at least a few years old. We traveling. And plus I want my kids to see the world before. If I got the means to do it, I want to see these places, but B, I want them to see this. I want to have memories with them in Barcelona and Madrid and Porto and Santiago and Mexico City. I don't know why I said it like that. Ciudad de Mexico. Um, but yeah, and even just in America, like I want to take them to the beach. I want to take them to places. Lord, tell me about it. Same issues here. Growing up around family just hits different. I see my nieces and nephews with my mom and dad and get upset because I want them to do what they do with my kids one day. Yeah, but we'll have it eventually when we find the right one. Maybe, lol. I know. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. That just hits different when like, and it's crazy because my brothers and sisters, none of us have kids, and we're all like, you know, I think my youngest sister just turned 20. Dang it, Allie. I'm sorry. I want to say she turned 25. So it's like, but none of us have kids. So I don't even, my parents are like probably just fuming like, yo, we don't have no grandkids. We have 5 of y'all and y'all don't even give us no kids. And actually, we're not even probably talking about love today. I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted to, but now we're getting to something else. We're talking about future, which is fine. We'll save love for next time. But one of my friends, I remember we had a really deep talk one day. I mean, we're talking like a good, like candlelit, like wine kind of talk. Like she's a really good friend of mine, and she asked me, cause like this is when I was like I don't really know if I want kids, and she was like, yeah, none of your brothers and sisters have kids too. Like, what is that? And I was like, I don't know. And she like posed the question. She was like, do you think it's because you grew up in a big family and like you were so loved that you don't feel the need to like create that yourself? And I was like, that was the first time I was like thinking about it like that. Like, is that, I don't know. Like, it could be. I think that's a big part of it. And like, shout out to her for like put me on that mindset. So Allison, if you're listening to this, like that was big for me. But essentially, it's like, I think that's a component of it. It's like I've never felt the need to like fill up my heart with my own family or anything until recently. Like it's just, I've already had like such a loving environment growing up and like such a big family where it's like I could call any of my brothers and sisters, my mom and dad right now, and they'd, it'd be like we never even, it'd be like I never even moved 1,000 miles away. It's just be like, yeah, that's big bro, or that's little bro, little sis, So it's like, I think that actually is a big part of why none of us have kids. Like, if I really had to put any kind of number on it, because we're already pretty complete. Like, I guess it's just till time like tells us like, hey, you gonna want to have kids, that you want them. But we recently went to Georgia not too long ago, and my 2-year-old niece did fantastic on her own without her siblings. That's awesome. I love hearing that. That's where at in Georgia, if I may ask. Did you go to Savannah? I'm actually like only a few hours away from Savannah, and I still haven't gone there, which is wild. That was like my plan when I came down here, was to visit there, but I just keep going to the beach. I just keep going to the coast. But yeah, it's weighing even heavier on my heart. Like that I don't know. And when I was with Elle, and like I said, we talked about this last time, but like she had a kid, and he would come stay with me and my family for just some weekends when we're all like staying, there was nothing cuter than my mom cooking or baking cookies with him. Like, and like I said, he was like maybe 4 at the time, but like seeing my mom in grandma mode, like, I don't know, man. That like that warmed my heart to its core. Seeing my mom like, because I know that she was like that exact same way with us. I mean, maybe a little different because we were her kids, you know, like not her grandkids, but you know, grandkids get a little extra sweet, like version of our parents. Um, but yeah, it was so nice to see, and my dad's too, like seeing him, you know, in granddad mode and pops mode, and I was like, oh, I want this so bad. I want this, and it just didn't work out, and now, you know, now it's like legitimate, you know, almost a need. Right now it's a want. Right now it's like a want, you know. But like I said, it's got to be in the context of like I said, I think that's, I don't know. This may be a hot take, and maybe we can get into it, but I think a lot of parents, and this is just like I said, I am not a parent, so do not take this to heart. If like, I think a lot of parents could do. Now this is gonna say, okay. I don't know how to phrase this because every family is different. Every parent is different. Every relationship is different, right? But I think for the good parents out there, the ones who are, you know, raising their kids, you know, I think a lot of parents could do with being a little more selfish. And before the heat, before the hate, before the heat, before all of that, you know, that doesn't mean I'm saying you should love your kids less or anything like that. I'm saying there's I've noticed in a lot, especially like people my age, like where it's always been like, you know, you put your kids first, and then you put your spouse there, and then you put your friends, everybody else, and then like you put yourself last. I'm like, no, f that, f that. I think it should, you know, I'm not saying you should always put yourself first, but I'm saying there should be a balance, you know, and I know that's tricky, and I'm not even a parent, so I don't even know how tricky it is, but I think that'll be something that, like, especially, you know, if I get married, and that'll be a conversation for real, is like how to balance that being selfish and still doing things that you love to do, that like ignite your soul and make you love to be alive, and, you know, raise your kids to be loved and great humans, right? But I've noticed like a lot of my friends, it's like it makes me so sad because like they're doing kind of what society has told them is like the thing, you know, always put your kid first, and, you know, your priority is like lowest on the totem pole, but that just makes like a miserable parent. Like, and if you're gonna be a miserable parent, like, yeah, you're just gonna resent. Like, if you constantly putting your kid before your own needs, you're gonna resent the heck in some form. Like, even if you love them to death, it's like that's not. Just think about that in like any other relationship. And I know parent to kid relationship is completely different. I don't even know what it's like, but it's like, I think that same thing even with like romantic relationships is like sometimes you gotta put yourself first. You just have to, like, otherwise you just get lost. Like, that's why this, I don't know if you can see my ghost tattoo, but the significance of that is sometimes like in the past in relationships I've kind of let myself fade to the back, you know, and put my wants and my desires and, you know, what I need to like feel alive. Like I put that in the background. I become a little ghost, you know, and I'm trying to make a more conscious effort of like being more selfish sometimes. Like, and that's tough for me. Like so I can't even imagine when I have kids how my brain will react to that. But like, I'm such I'm a wallflower where like I like to observe and like, you know, but B, I always, it's just my nurturing side. It's like I always put people before myself, you know, At least when it's like a any kind of real relationship, you know. If it's like a stranger, F them. I don't care. I'm gonna do me, you know. But like if it's someone I care about and like I care about their opinion, I'm gonna like put their needs first. You know, if I'm dead tired and they, it's so many different situations. Like I let myself fall to the wayside, and then that becomes a habit, and then it's just like at some point I'm not really. It's probably the thing that I don't want to say ruins my relationships, because it doesn't. It's just a something I have to be cognizant about, and like it's just, I don't know the best way to describe it, but like if you let yourself be last picked, I guess, over and over and over in a relationship or in a friendship, it just becomes habit. And whether you like it or not, like you just kind of get used to those roles with whoever you're with. And they might not even mean to do it. It's just how you guys have developed your relationship. And after a point, it is hard to break that, you know, because then it's just how you guys interact. But like that's how I feel with, like, when I have kids, I'm gonna make a concerted effort. Like as much as I love them, and like I will put them first in so many things, and I will die for them. I will die for them. I don't even have them right now, and I know I will die for them. But I'm gonna put myself first sometimes, you know. And it doesn't mean like do things without them. That's not what I mean. But I was like, even if traveling isn't the most convenient thing to do as a parent, I need to travel in my life. You know, I've already established, like that's something that fuels my soul. You know, I don't want to just live and work and die. You know, I need to travel, and I need to see new places and new environments. But like I said, now this new kind of me is like, now I'm very much embracing, like I want to have my family with me, you know. Before it was like my mindset was like solo travel, you know, I'm good on my own. I go where I want to go. But like now it's like, I want to have a significant other who like to share it with, but also then when my kids, I want to have that with them, you know. So my brother was based in Fort Benning. We watched him graduate infantry and airborne. Now he moved to Italy last week and is based out there for 4 years. Oh my goodness. I've heard about Fort Benning. Is that near Charleston? No. You just said Georgia. I don't know. I only know Atlanta, and I know Savannah in Georgia. And Columbia. Nope, that's South Carolina. See, everything I know is in South Carolina. But dang, Italy. Will you ever get to visit him out there? Because Italy is bomb. Oh my goodness. Rome is like that gelato. I have dreams about that gelato in Rome. There's a period of time I ate gelato 4 nights in a row. And that was the best. That was the best because they had flavors like limone, which is just lemon, but they pronounced the E at the end. And it was like the most bitter, but like delicious flavor. Mm. It just tasted more lemony than anything I'd ever tasted. Anyways, yeah, I don't know how we got onto this tangent. I think it was just me talking, like wanting to talk about having. It's because it's been in my brain like recently, and like I said, I've been talking to A and I have been having real good like late night conversations, you know, FaceTime conversations, and it's just been like weighing on my brain. Like we've like broached the subject, and it kind of just unlocked some things I wanted to talk about, and I don't know. I want a fam, and now I can picture it like it's becoming clearer and clearer, and that freaks me out a little bit because before it was just like a vague kind of like vague outline, but now it's becoming more clear, and it's like I'm visual. I'm like dang near visualizing like coming home and cooking everybody dinner and you know watching some Disney movies or whatever. And I don't know, it's gonna be the thing that I'm the thing that I've always been confident about is that I would be a decent dad. And I know usually you want to hear people say they don't think they'd be a good dad. Like that's usually the typical response, but like I know myself and I know how much love I have for my loved ones, and I know how patient I am, and but B, I know just how much I enjoy being around my people and how much I enjoy like being that kind of figure. Like, so that's one thing I've never really. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be tougher, a lot tougher than I expect. I know that. I know it's not gonna be. I'm not gonna be the perfect dad. I know that. I know. I know. But I just know. I'm so thankful that I have my dad, and I can see like he he's such a great dad, and so just having him like set the blueprint for me, it's like that was so valuable in itself, whether I realize it or not. But also I just have so much love, like, and and yeah, my kids are gonna see the world. My kids are gonna be right there on my hip while we're, you know, eating street food in Vietnam, or I don't know, wandering around Budapest or Vienna or any of these places, man. I know it. Absolutely, you're going. You're so excited. Yes. Oh my goodness. Do you know where at in Italy he is? Um, that is amazing. I love that for you. That's gonna be so much fun. Whew, man. Have you been to Italy before? Mm, man. But my bad, guys. I was all geared up to talk about love and romance and that, but I guess I wanted to talk about having kids, and I don't know why. Don't ask me why, but it's just that's that's where I'm at in my life. I'm 31. I'm 31, and I want some kids. Mm. Um, like I would teach my kids all about astronomy. Like they'd be the kids that like outside with magnifying glasses and telescopes, just like I was. Like my dad did to me. Like I remember my dad got me a telescope when I was real little, and he like the thing I remember most is like how he was excited to show me the moon. Like he was just as excited. Like I love the fact that he has this like wonderment, this childlike like just enthusiasm for things like me, like science. You know, he is just as curious as I am, and like that is so like that rubs off on your kids, and like he has that, I have that. You know, I remember distinctly him like just being so excited that, like that's a different kind of when somebody is you can feel their excitement is different than just tolerating you, right? Like, and that's I know that's who I'd be as a parent because that's just who I am. It's like I'm excited. Yo, show me the moon. Show me that macaroni art you just did. Show me why'd you do it like that. What's what was in your brain? What was you know? Yeah, show me that bug you show me 900 times. I don't care. Let's make a story for it. Like what's this bug's name? What adventures did it go on today? You know, like and I must admit I did get a taste of it when I was like I said when I was with Elle and her son, and I embraced that role so much, because I thought I was gonna be, his, stepdad, if I'm being honest. So I embrace that role wholeheartedly. I spent so many evenings playing trains with him, building train sets, you know, showing him bugs and reading him books and, you know, just kind of teaching him about life and because it wasn't really like that's the thing like I love about like being in that role is like most of the time it's not even like you're not even like actively you don't even know you're teaching. They just ask so many questions, and it's just like me. I'm just excited to talk and answer, and like I'm the one that like it doesn't matter if you ask. I know okay, there are days when you have your days and you're stressed and you're tired and you're like I don't want to answer any questions. Like come on, but like for the most part, I'm like yeah, I don't care that you're asking 100 questions a minute. Like I'll answer every single one. It's just who I am. It's just how I was raised, and I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm getting excited again. But that did make me want to talk about something about love. And I was thinking about this today was I think everybody deserves a love that's not just being accepted. Because I know I kind of sometimes I'll post a lot about like feeling like accepted. Like you want to feel accepted in your relationship, especially romantically. You want somebody to accept you for who you are, right? And yes, I want that, but I want to go one step further. I think everybody should be celebrated for who they are, not just accepted. You know, that's my hot take. That's my hot take for tonight and about love. Is like I think everybody deserves to have somebody who celebrates them as a person. You know, don't just accept me for the way I am, even though that's big. Like obviously that's rare in itself. It's like being accepted wholly as who I am. But I want somebody who celebrates who I am. I want someone who learns the aspects of who I am as a man and celebrates that, and who's like not necessarily you don't have to brag on me or things, but that's just like that they're glad that I am the way I am. Not just he's kind of quiet or he's low key funny or he's kind. I appreciate that about him. But like I want someone who's like I love the fact that you're this way. I love the fact that you do this or that or this. That they're like it's a step further than acceptance. It's like being proud of me being the way I am. I think everybody deserves a romance and a love like that. Because I started thinking about this and it really came down. I was talking to somebody and we were kind of talking about like relationships, and they were saying that nobody like when they learn too much about them, like they're out, like they don't want the deep the guts of it all, the trauma of it all, like once they learn too much. And then they made a comment about like just wanting to be accepted for everything. And then I thought, no, you deserve somebody who not just accepts all this but celebrates it, like celebrates you for either making it through what you made through and or just celebrating who you are now as in all your quirks and all your realisms, everything. Somebody who is just like, yo, yeah, I love it you're that way. Not just I'm okay with you being that way. I love that you're that way. But yeah, that's my hot take. Not really sure where specifically, but no, I haven't. It's on my list of some of the places I want to go though. Ooh, I think it's called Vicenza, Italy. It's where the base is at. I've never been there. Let me see where it is. Vicenza. Papito. It looks beautiful. It's 70 degrees there now, so that's amazing. Oh, that looks amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, it's in like the northern portion. Okay. How close is it to? What am I trying to think of? You know that city that's on the water? Venice. Oh, it's pretty close to Venice. Oh my goodness, you could. Oh my goodness, you could go see your bro there, and then you could take the train over to Venice. Oh my goodness, that would be so dope. Oh, it looks beautiful though. It looks beautiful. I've always, for some reason, Venice, and I know it's not the same. It's like a few miles or kilometers, I guess, away from Vincenza, but um, Venice is the place I want to go with, like for my honeymoon. I've always, for some reason, and it obviously it'll change if whoever I'm with wants to go somewhere else, but like in the back of my mind, I have always saved Venice for like being with the love of my life, like wandering down alleyways and popping into restaurants and just exploring Venice together, like wandering. I just picture like waking up, kind of late and like getting breakfast and wandering down the alleys and getting lunch, and then maybe just hanging out on the water for the afternoon, and then early evening we wander down those romantic, just beautifully like sun draped, alleys and ivy everywhere and water everywhere, and you hear Italian being spoken, and I've always just pictured being there with someone I love. So that's why I haven't gone yet. But who knows? Maybe I'll end up going to like the Arby's down the road for my honeymoon. I'm just kidding. I want to go. My honeymoon probably has to include a beach. I'm not gonna lie. Because almost every trip I take has to involve a beach at some point. But yeah, we all deserve to be celebrated in our relationships, not just accepted. Like acceptance is the first step, but then being celebrated, I think that's where if someone celebrates you for you being you, just as you are, like hold on to those people. Because I don't know, it's a special kind of love when like someone is proud of you as a person, And I think we all deserve that. I don't think any of us should settle for anything less than having somebody celebrate us. Not even like things, like not even accomplishments or goals. Like not even like because you did this. Like nothing that you like need to earn. Not like a milestone that they should celebrate you for. Nothing. Just for being you and like celebrating all the aspects of you. Or at least a bunch of aspects of you that they love, And that can apply for your romance, but also for friendships, Like, I think the coolest, my favorite friends are the ones who like celebrate their friends or like are proud of their friends, And you can tell it's like genuine too. It's like the ones that's like they you can feel it. So, but I guess it's not really a hot take. That's just kind of like it's just like just a take. But yeah. Is there anything new? Is there anything? Like I said, I apologize. I was all fully prepared. I mean, I was listening to one of my favorite bands, Paper Kites. I talk about them a lot. Okay, here, no, this is getting. We'll probably go for maybe another 20 minutes because I gotta eat. I'm hungry. And like you can see, I just got off of work. So want to come? 100% I want to come. Are you serious? Yes, please. That looks beautiful. Like, I'm not even into like architecture like that, but that looks amazing. And Italian food, oh, do not get me started. And I bet they have some. I bet they have some seafood up there in that area. That would be delicious. Mmm. Plus, the Italian climate, like, I think is like the ideal for me. Like, honestly, if there was anywhere I was gonna move in the world, it'd probably be like a suburb of Rome. Like, because it just feels the best to me. Like, just my internal whatever it is, like internal thermometer. Just like when I was in, you know, Florence is cool too, but like when I was in Rome, like my internal like my internal thing was like, whoa, like nothing better than like a Roman like summer evening. Like it just like I can almost feel like what I felt there, and it just felt different. It felt like home, you know. I can distinctly remember looking up and seeing like the dark blue sky as it was getting like dark, and the trees were waving in the wind, and it was warm and kind of humid, but like, you know, and it was like whoa, and Italian. I could hear Italian coming through windows and stuff, and it was like I could definitely move here. Um. So yes, Marisol, I would love to join you. Um. But oh yeah, I guess I will talk a little bit about love, since I mean, I did I did say that this was gonna be about. I guess we're all. I mean, I guess this all counts as love, like family, familial love, like romantic love, friendship love. It's all it's all love. I know different variations, but I guess it still counts. So we're not too off topic, but in terms of romantic love, um, I want that kind of love that makes me feel how I feel when I listen to the Paper Kites. And I know that's really specific, and I know, I mean, that's just like, I don't need it to be exact. It's just like a broad, like what I'm looking for and hoping for and searching for is like when I listen to the Paper Kites, it's like the Paper Kites are like that Sunday evening, the sun is setting, the 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 house is getting, you know, the house is all golden and warm and soft, and you know, you feel comfort and you feel at ease and you feel safe and you feel, warm, and it's just like a different level of home, I guess. Those Sunday evenings where the light is just right, and everything is just before it gets like this, it gets dark, right? Something like that. That's what I'm looking for in my like romantic life, is somebody who makes me feel like home. But the thing about me is I've never felt at home in almost any place I've ever been. So that's an uphill battle. I do not envy the woman who wants to who tries to undertake that ordeal, because I've genuinely never felt at home. I've had moments where I'm like, this could be a home. This could feel like home, but never have I felt like, outside of like when I was a child, like, something happened when I was like maybe 16 or 17, where I started realizing, oh, this is not. I think it was when we moved in as a family to this house in the suburbs, and I was like, the first time I'd been outside of like Des Moines, like outside of like the neighborhoods I've grown up in, and that really was like, oh, no, I don't mess with this. I don't like this. This is. It was like a realization of like, oh, I'm only here because my parents are here. Like I'm only here because my family is here. I don't want to. This is not where I want to be. Um, but we've talked about it before. But like Chicago, I could feel. I have moments where like I want to move there because I feel something there that feels like home. Charleston was the same way, although not quite as much. Mexico City was like pretty close. Like I still want to move to Mexico City. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would do that if the stars align, and I can take my puppy down there. And if I get like honestly, that's on the table. Like in the next few years, if I can swing something like work wise, your boy might be moving to Mexico City because it's just beautiful. It is beautiful. Um, and then, ooh, my puppy just opened the door and bumped the thing. So hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, Italy and Rome. I felt like it could be home for a second, hot second. That's about it. I but so I guess maybe it's not fair of me to like put that on somebody else. Maybe I need to feel at home. I mean, I feel at home in my own self. Like I'm so comfortable. It's so almost a paradox. Like, and I don't know if anyone else feels like this. So maybe this is we're working through some things, or maybe I'm just the only one. But like, I feel so comfortable by myself and on my own. Like I'm comfortable in my skin, but like I never feel at home in a place. And being down here, actually, I've been down here going on 3 years, and this is like probably the closest I've felt. But I'm still not. It still doesn't feel like home. I had one moment, and I don't know if I've told her this, but we're gonna talk about A again. But um, I had one moment when I was hanging out with her, and this is kind of when I realized like, oh, she's like a big part of my life. Like I remember we were like just kicking it at a bar, and then we're just hanging out in the parking lot after watching her friend skateboard, and that for the first time, I think it was just being around people and being around her, in, like specifically, like where I was like, oh, and then I had this like an overwhelming feeling of like home. So maybe maybe that. Did we just realize something? No, no. We're just friends. We're friends. We're friends. That's it. That's it. But I feel like friends can make you feel like home too. So like it doesn't have to be a romantic thing. It could be like the people you're around, like that makes the environment feel like home. You know. So I guess not in a weird way, but like that was a big like she was like at that moment I was like, but then things happen and then it doesn't really feel all like home. It feels like if I had to put like a percentage on it, and 0% is here. Wait, maybe that's backwards for you. 0% here, 100% here, and we're talking like home. I feel here maybe like 55% home. You know, 60% home, maybe something like that. But it doesn't feel like where I'm supposed to be, if that makes sense. And this is honestly, I think I've talked about this before, but it's all right because you know it is what it is. But that's the hardest thing to explain to somebody. Like I remember, it's why Elle and I broke up, was because it is so difficult to explain to somebody who doesn't feel this way that like, yo, I don't feel at home in Iowa. I don't feel like that doesn't. I become a shell of myself based on where I'm at. I'm very, very inspired by the places I am. I'm very like, I guess, sensitive to my environment, if that makes sense. Like I get these feelings around places specifically that like, you know, it's got to have a certain charm, a certain vibe to it that like agrees with who I am as a person. If that makes any sense. And I know I've honestly have tried to what are some other places that you want to travel? Ooh, good question. Good question. Let me get we'll get into that, I promise. But like it's so difficult to explain to somebody that doesn't feel this way. Like, yo, I don't feel comfortable in this city, or I don't feel my best self in this town. You know, I don't feel like I'm thriving here. Um, so it's actually something I'm very proud of myself. Is like that I moved. I moved away from everyone that I knew, all my friends, all my family, and I moved to a completely different part of the country, and I made it work, and I'm thriving. I'm not. It doesn't feel like home, but like if we were doing that percentage right, and 0%, 100, and where I'm at now is like 55%, 60%, something like that. Iowa feels like 5% home, maybe 3%, and that only 3% is my family. Like, and if my family was down here, I bet my bar would be like more like 80%, 90%. Like, that should tell you like I do not mess with Iowa, and nothing against Iowa. I know like my bunch of my friends are still back there, and my family's still back there, but it's like it just does not agree with me as a person. Like, not necessarily politically or like just it's just not the environment that like excites me. I need the coast. I need hills, and I need scenery. I need to be able to. And I love accents, and I love different foods, and don't get me wrong, Des Moines has some pretty good I mean, the diversity isn't like, it's a lot of white, I'm not gonna lie. Iowa as a whole is a lot of white, but there are pockets where it's like it's interesting and it's cool, and it's like, but I need more color, literally and figuratively. Like, I need more diversity. I need a warmer climate, I need more things nearby. I need more cities like within driving distance or like day trip distance. And I need the beach. I need the ocean. That's what it boils down to. I need to be in a warm climate with an ocean. That's me in a nutshell. But we've talked about that. But that being said, I guess maybe that's a lot to put on somebody, but I want somebody who, at least when I'm with them, I can envision at least finding a home with them, So yeah. I want a love that feels like how it feels when I listen to the Paper Kites. Specifically the song Tin Lover. That song makes me feel that way. So, other places I want to travel to. Good question. What are places that you want to travel to? First of all. Second of all, that's a long list for me. There are a bunch of places, but just off the top of my head, let's go 10. Okay, so let's go off the top of my head. I really, really want to see Japan. Korea, obviously, I talked about quite a bit. Portugal is climbing up the list pretty steadily. Chile, I really want to see Chile. Puerto Rico, I'm surprised I haven't gone yet. I almost went a few winters ago. Panama, Vietnam. I'm less interested in Europe these days because I've already seen quite a bit of Europe. But if I had to pick a place in Europe to visit, I would probably say Budapest. Morocco. Kenya. I'm not going to stop at 10 because there's so many places I want to see. Egypt. Egypt is growing for me. I want to take my brother to Egypt. Ireland, I want to go with my brother, my other brother. Um, what's that? 12? Yeah, that's good enough. Well, I don't know. The main on my list right now are Asia and South America. Like those two are like really where I want to explore next. And Central America. I feel like though if I go to Puerto Rico, I'm not gonna come back. Like the food, the people, the beaches, the cities. I'm not gonna come back. Let's be honest. If I yeah, I almost didn't come back from Mexico City. If I didn't have my dog, I, I wouldn't have come back. But um, but yeah. How about you? Where are some places that you want to go? Um, do we share? Do we have any in common, or are they like just completely different? In America, if we're just doing like, well, let's do just North America. I really want to visit the Yucatan. Um, I really want to like explore more about like Maya culture, like Mayan like and Aztec, because that fascinates the heck out of me. Like, yo, yo, we sleeping on like Aztec and like Mayan culture. Like I feel like they knew things that we don't even know anymore. Like we lost a lot of that knowledge. Like they were ahead of their time. Like I swear. Like you know that thing where like each generation thinks they're the smartest generation, or each like civilization age, I guess, thinks they're the best. And yeah, we have, you know, air conditioning, but like, is it any better? Like, what were they doing back then? I swear, I know. It's like, just because we're further in time does not mean we're more advanced or we're not any more like intelligent. That's always been a pet peeve of mine. Is like not a pet peeve, but you watch all these shows and like the idea is pretty much like because we've survived, like because we're living now in a time like we've survived, like we're what's the best way, because like in a linear timeline, right, we're here and the ancestors, everybody else is here, we're better. But that doesn't make any sense to me. Like no, the more I learn about history and like it intrigues the heck out of me, yo, I would love to just go back in time and just visit ancient like Maya time and like Aztec time and just see, and like if I could like just be dropped there with like the knowledge and the language of what they're going through, I would love to just see like what is happening, because I swear like I'm not saying we're dumber now, but we might be. We very well might be. And I think it's just not fair to think that just because we're now here, I mean, look what we're doing to the planet. Like, are we smarter? Like, just because we exist now and they don't anymore, doesn't mean we're we're better. That's just my take. That's my take. It's always been my take. It's like the more I learn, the more I read about different like civilizations. I'm like really heavy into like 12th and 13th century like Korea, and like some of the poetry that was coming out during that time. I mean, we're talking 1300s, like BC. This is like what 700-800 years ago, and like the poetry they were writing then was phenomenal. Like like some of these poets were just like incredible, and like I would stack them up against anybody we have today, like any poet, and that was 800 years ago. So it's like, just think, even before then. I mean, I don't know. This we. I didn't mean to take it to that place, but I guess we just going all over the place today. But yeah, I would love to visit the Yucatan. I would love to visit um, Oaxaca. I would love to visit. I really want to go back to San Francisco and Boston, those two. I want to see Portland. I want to see LA. I want to see Montreal. And I want to see Vancouver. And I want to see Quebec City in Canada. And those are my... And Jasper National Park in Canada. And Banff. And Glacier. I don't want to go to Alaska, though. There are way too many bears. Like, I'm not afraid of bears. Like, I never dream about, like, and I never have a scary dream about bears, but, like, if a bear, like, you know how I'm in the woods all the time, right? I'm in the woods, like, 85% of my days. So, let it be one time. There's bears down here, too. Like, let it be one time. Like, I was driving around, like, to the west, like in the mountains, right? And I saw a sign and it said, "This is bear country." I said, "Oh, well, they can have this is not for me. This is not for me, you know. If this is the bear country, this is theirs now. Like, we'll just kind of section it all off. Y'all keep it. Y'all, you know, y'all make the rules. Y'all elect your officials, you know, form your own corporations, whatever you need to do in bear country, whatever you do, that's yours. It has nothing to do with me anymore. As soon as I know this is bear country, I'm gone. If enough bears have been in the area for you to say this is bear country, that's not a place I want to be anymore. And don't get me wrong, I love watching the bear national, like the stuff on like public television, like Nova and Nature. I soak all that stuff up. Seeing the bears like eat the salmon from the creek and catch it in their mouths, like I'm like, yo, you get that salmon. And they feed it to the kids, and then like, yo, bears and I connect on hibernation. You know, I think humans missed a great opportunity to learn from bears. We should just hibernate for about 3 or 4 months every winter. Just stay in bed for 3 months. And then come back, and then we'll be ready to be productive for the rest of the year. We dropped the ball on that one. So like, I connect with bears, but like, legitimately, if I find out it's bear country, I'm out. I'm so out. That's like dropping me in the middle of like a known shark habitat. Like in the middle of it. That's how I feel when I find out it's a bear. Cause like, I'm outside all the time and all I have is a machete. And if a bear wants me, it's gonna get me. Guaranteed. So yeah, Alaska is like the beariest state of all time. Like, I'm pretty sure on their flag is just a picture of the bear. Just a grizzly bear just staring. You know? Like, nah. I can't even have the bear population be like even like 1% of what the human population is in that area. I can't for every one bear, or for every one human, or whatever, every 100 humans I see a bear. Those are terrible odds. I don't want that in my lifetime. No. I've seen bears before. I've seen a few bears. One was kind of scary. I think I've talked about it before, but I was in the Blue Ridge National Park, and I was going up to see this like beautiful overlook. This hanging, I can't remember what it's called. It's like one of the highest overlooks in the eastern United States. And I remember I was coming down from that, and I hear this commotion, and like people are kind of screaming, and I'm like, what's going on? And I turn, and then I see the shadow and I see a bigger shadow. And then I realize it's a baby bear and a mama bear, and it's a big, I think it's a black bear. And I'm like, oh. And so I freeze. And I'm like, they gotta, the path, it's like the curve, like they're safe over here. The people like are past the curve, they're safe because the bear's going this way. But like I'm kind of in the curve, so it's like that bear can either beeline and it's gonna cross right over me, or it's gotta like readjust to go. I was like, and thankfully it adjusted. It saw me or didn't. It knows the path or whatever, and it took the other way. But I was about to get in between a mama bear and her cub, like physically, literally, like. And bears are big, bruh. I don't know if you know this, but bears are big. They're not just like dog sized. They're like horses, but with claws. Anyways, Greece, Paris, Italy, Rome, Thailand, Morocco, South Africa, Ireland, Dubai, Maldives, Japan, Iceland, Utah, Nashville. Okay, I like your list a lot. Greece. Oh, I forgot Greece. Greece is on my, yeah, my bad. Greece is top 3 for me. Greece, I was planning a trip to Greece 2 summers ago. It was right before COVID, and then kind of fell apart. But essentially what I was going to do was I was going to spend a few weeks in Athens, and I can't pronounce it. Thessaloniki? I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know. Thessaloniki. But I was going to like explore the 2 cities up there, like Athens. That was my first love in college was Greek literature and Greek history and mythology. So like I even took a Greek literature class. I remember, because I love Greek culture and food and history. So I wanted to just go to all the ruins and all the museums in Athens and just explore. And then I was gonna go down, take a ferry to Crete, and I think it's pronounced Hania, I think, but it's like Chania. It's like a one of the main cities in Crete, a little island off the coast of Greece, and I was gonna spend a few weeks there. Like I was gonna get my city time, and I was gonna get my island time. In the island time, honestly, I was just gonna bike around and go to the beach and eat seafood. And the way I did it, I was gonna do the city stuff first. So when you have the most energy, and then like at the end of the trip, just wind down with bunch of what do they drink out there? Ouzo? I can't remember what Greeks, what their national alcoholic beverage is, but I want to say it's ouzo, or reki. I can't remember. But I was just gonna drink that and some wine and eat fish and pretty much lays away the whole days. Your brother-in-law's brother lives in Alaska. Tell him I'm sorry. That is unfortunate. No, it's beautiful. Like I understand that it's just like one of the most beautiful states of all time. One of the most beautiful places of all time. But the bears, I think we're understating the frequency of the bear situation up there. Nah. My brother was thinking about going to Alaska for a minute. And I was like, I support you. But unless you can guarantee I will see no bears when I'm up there, I can't come visit you. I can't. Like I'm terrified of like taking my dog out and like seeing a bear in my backyard. Like, what do I do? What do I do? I'd be so mad. I would be less mad if I died by a shark than by a bear. Because at least with a shark, I'm like, oh, I clearly know I'm in the wrong. Like, I clearly know I'm in your space, I wasn't born with fins. or gills. I know I'm not allowed like in the ocean long term. You know, my body knows that. But with the bears, like, well, we both on the same land, you know. So we just gonna scrap it out? No. If a bear gets me, I'd be so upset. I'd be so upset. Cause I try in my day to day, I try very hard not to be in the same bear space. If that makes any sense. But I guess I do have the perspective of like I'm literally, like I said, I'm a surveyor, so I'm literally in the woods in places where bears frequent all the time. You know, I I am very surprised I haven't seen a bear since I've been down here because there's bears all over the place. Like, um, but yeah, I remember I remember one of the first jobs I was doing, like first wooded jobs I was doing by myself. Oh no, I had KB with me, my best friend, and I remember we were up in the county where KB's from, and the first thing the dude told us was like, "Oh yeah, watch out, cause we got a bunch of ticks back there. We got some spiders in there. We got some snakes. Oh, what else? Oh yeah, we got bears up there." I was like, "Why didn't you lead with the bears? Why'd you lead with ticks?" And I hate ticks, but why'd you lead with that when bears are on the table? Yo, at least ticks I can pick off. Like, yeah, that's gonna suck, but like, eh, but a bear? I can't just pick off a bear? Are you serious? Um, but yeah. So I know they're here. I know they exist. But I mean, luckily I've done my best to avoid them. But watch. Now I say that, and tomorrow I'll see a bear. And like I said, if that's how I go, if I go by a bear, please somebody avenge my death. But don't go after the bear. It was not the bear's fault. I was in the wrong. Clearly, whatever I was doing led to that. I guess just avenge me by I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Um, place some honey on my grave, I guess. No, because then more bears will show up. I don't know. I don't know. It'd just be a sucky way to die. Um, but yeah, love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Da, 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 da. All you need is love. Da, 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 da. All you need is love. Love. Um, I think it's about time for me to get some food because I can honestly, once I get here, like then I'm in the mood and we just talking, you know. And then Marisol, when you're here, it's like then we just get talking and I could talk about travel for days. Also, Utah. I'm not mad at that. Oh, I love Nashville. That's funny. That's actually why I think I've said it before, but like, that's why I named Nashville. That's why Nash's name is Nash. It's because Nashville is one of my favorite places in the world. Um, Ooh, Thailand. You know what? Thailand's growing on me. The more I learn about Thailand, the more I'm like, you know what? That could be a place I'd like to. I don't know if I would go solo to Thailand, which is weird because I go to most places solo, but like, I don't know. That feels like a place I'd want to share with somebody. I don't know why, but that's how I'm with Korea. With Korea, uh, I've talked about this before too, but like, it's mainly because my family is big into Korean like culture, so it's like I would only want to go with them. But for some reason, Thailand has that same kind of vibe to me. Like I would love to explore Thailand. Thailand, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've seen all these like there's a romance to Thailand, and like I've seen so many travel blogs of like couples going to Thailand and like that humid evening, and they're going bouncing around, getting food and dancing and seeing the coast. Like it's just romantic, you know. And they like get on the Vespas and scoot around. It's just like romantic. So I guess that maybe that's just in my head, is like I would love to go with like a significant other and explore Thailand. Um, but then like on the flip side, we got Vietnam, which is arguably one of the most romantic like settings in the world, and I would love to go there solo. And honestly, I don't think I would come back. Like that's why I have not there. That's why a lot of places I have not gone just yet, because I know in my current life, like I might not come back. Like for real, for real. Like that's a legitimate concern in my life, and I know if I didn't come back, it means I loved it, and that means it is what it is. But like it also means like it's the double-edged sword, because I love my family to death, and it's like I don't want to be in a place where I can't see them all the time, or at least a few times a year. So it's like I'm fighting that battle, like of just dropping off the face of the earth and being in a place that I actually love, versus like maintaining my most precious relationships. Like it's just like a give and take, and it's like, but I know if I make a conscious, like I literally, when I'm like planning trips, I'm literally in the back of my brain like, okay, but will I come back? And if I will come back, then I'll go. If there's a chance I won't come back, I don't book the trip. At least not yet, not when my family's still here. Because like I said, Vietnam, I can almost feel it. Like some places you just get an inkling for, and it could be completely different. But like Vietnam, I can just picture being in the cities and eating the food and the humidity and being around like the energy and the environment, and then having a few days of like respite where I go up and visit the country and maybe the lagoons and all that stuff. It's like I can just easily picture a world where I just get a job, doing something out there, maybe teaching, and just eating and just writing, and that's it. Like I don't need. That's the thing about me, is like I don't need much in this life. Like I just need to be some place that I love, with good food, with my puppy, and nowadays, maybe a family. Like that's starting to get there a little more. That's all I need. I don't need, and my family up north. That's it. Like I don't need much. Just give me some good books, some good food, some good people, and my fam. But yeah, I think this is a good spot to end it for the day, just because I am getting hungry, and it's been almost 2 hours, and I didn't talk about love once. I'm just kidding. Yes, I did. I talked about it a little bit. This is all considered love, I know. I feel kind of bad, because I was like, I was initially gonna just talk about like that Nicholas Sparks kind of love, and like a rom-com kind of love that I could speak on for days, because I am looking for that. But I don't know. We go to places in this that you can't plan it. I don't want to fight it. I want to just explore the thoughts that I have, and I want to explore the wants and things that like are pressing in my heart now, because it'd be fun to look back on this in maybe a few years and like, oh, that was weighing on your brain even back then, the thought of having a family. Like it was enough for you to like spend 30 minutes talking about when you were going to talk about something else. Like, I don't know. That's kind of cool. But moral of the story is like, I really, even when I have a family, especially when I have a family, I want to make a concerted effort. I want to, and that's the tough part, is like finding someone who shares this like feeling. I guess that's what I was trying to get at before. It's like you can't, if it's not like in you to want to travel or go places, or if it's not in you, like if you, like the woman I was gonna marry, right? She loved her hometown. She loved, the community, and she loved being in Iowa. Like then I could never I would never ever ask her to give that up for me ever, because it's just as important to her as traveling is to me, or like not being in Iowa is to me, you know. So I got that aspect of it, but it's like it is tough to explain to somebody like, yo, I cannot be in this place anymore. Like if we're being brutally honest, I don't know if I would have like wanted to be alive and be in Iowa. Like, if you catch my drift, like I can't. It just makes me feel so bad. Like, it just does not. It's not where my heart is. It really is not. Um, but like that's where her heart was. So it's like that's the stuff. So it's like when I like imagine the prospect of like finding someone who like kind of shares my mentality, like that's so. I don't know. We don't know a lot of things here. That's not the point of this. We're not trying to figure things out. We're just trying to speak on it, and maybe you feel the same way, or maybe you feel the complete opposite. Maybe you're the one who doesn't want to travel and you wants to, stay in you love where you're from, and that's cool too. Like some days, a lot of days, I wish that was me, but I'm not. I don't think I'm meant to stay in one city for more than a few years at a time. I like the change of things. I like the new environments. I like, you know, maybe I don't have one home. Maybe everywhere is my home, and maybe, when I have a family, it's tough to imagine like another person. Like with kids, it's different. Like kids, you can, if it makes sense, they adapt to your lifestyle, right? So not pack them, we can move wherever, but like a significant other, like if they don't have that same feel or drive, it falls apart. It falls apart. So just even like thinking of like finding someone with a shared sense of that seems rare to me. And then me also liking them enough to kiss them is a lot. And then wanting, I don't know, it's just a lot. I don't know. I guess now I'm feeling very discouraged, but that's okay. That's just today. I'll watch a rom-com or a Korean drama, and I'll feel filled up with the hope again. You want to go to the elephant sanctuary and help feed them, play with them, bathe with them. Oh, that'd be dope. Elephants are my favorite animal. That's why I have a tattoo of them on my arm. You have a tattoo? What? This whole time? I had not. I mean, Nashville, I want to go so bad, but I want to go with good company. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. First of all, tattoos. I think I said this before, but tattoos are super hot. So that's awesome. Also, elephants, adorable. I just watched the elephant video today where they were like passing through a hotel that like the hotel specifically, like they knew this was the path of elephants that they take even before the hotel was built. So they built like a big old passageway so the elephants could get through at any time. It's really cool. But that would be so dope to play and bathe and feed with the elephants. That is awesome. That is awesome. Me, I know me. I'd be cheering you on from the sidelines because like elephants, like anything bigger than a dog freaks me out. I'm not gonna lie to you. Unless it's a cow. Even cows sometimes freak me out. But like anything bigger than a dog just scares the heck out of me. Like if I'm face to face with it, like I couldn't. I just don't trust that. Like, not that they're gonna do me harm, but like they're just so big that like if they kick me, that's it. But I don't want to put that in the universe. That would be an awesome trip. That'd be super dope. And Nashville, you're right. Nashville, it's all about the company with your. And my dog just his ears perked up because he heard his name. It was cute. He's sleeping, but he's staring at me like he's facing me. And when I say Nashville, his ears just I'm like whoop. But Nashville is definitely a place that you need to go with good company because that's the make or break it. Like a lot of people, my brother, I remember he does not like Nashville. My brother Nick, which I don't get, but it does. Okay, it's not. What's the best way to describe it? it can be dirty. It can be. It's not the cleanest city. It's not gonna win any awards for being the cleanest city, right? It's got charm. It's got character, but it's just a feeling. It's like when you walking around and you're hearing great music out of every bar, and you know they're just, I don't know. It's much more of a feeling than like an actual like aesthetic. Because yeah, on paper, it's not doesn't look amazing. The downtown area. I don't know, but I love it. I love Nashville. And the thing about me is I don't need my cities to be clean. I just, as long as they're pretty safe and they've got some kind of charm to them, that's all I need. And Nashville's full of charm. It really is. You're right. It's all about the people you go with. Like I feel like I could have made Nick love, or at least enjoy Nashville if I went with him, but it really depends on who you go with, because it can. If you got people who don't like that, then it's not gonna be fun. But yeah, Nashville is. Like I said, that's why I named my puppy Nashville, because I spent a lot of time. I can't even tell you, like I spent a good chunk of time in or around Nashville, just hanging out, just visiting, just eating, just exploring. And now it's like a little too far for me for doing a day trip. Like for me, I think it's 7 or 8 hours away from me. So I haven't been in a few years, but I recommend it. I really do. I do. You're right. Go with the right people. But it is one of my favorite places. It really is. You have 5? What? And in the process of talking to my guy about my half sleeve, yo, Marisol, we're gonna get into this the next time I see you, because, yeah, 5? What? That's pretty awesome, actually. That's really cool. I did not know that. I'm always so excited when I learn about people's tattoos. I don't know why. But yeah, if next time I see you, I'm gonna ask you for sure. Um, but I'm gonna get out of here because I really, really need to eat. For some reason, my tummy has been messed up these past few nights, so I just have not been eating well. And like I'm not as hungry as, I don't know. Maybe it's like a stomach thing. I don't know, but like the past few nights I had like forced myself to even get anything in my tummy. But right now I'm feeling kind of a little bit hungry, so I need to jump on this before it goes away, because like I said, I've not been eating well these past couple days. Just have not had the same appetite. But I won't think about it too much, because I did make my I didn't remember if I told you guys I was gonna make my mom's recipe for that. Yeah, I did that flank steak, and I made it, and it turned out delicious. It's got peppers and her canned tomatoes that are delicious, and steak, and it's like a delicious, steak, pretty much soaked in delicious tomato pepper sauce juices things. Like it's just like a flavor bomb of just deliciousness. And I told you guys, because I called my mom like at work, and I was like, or while I was at work, I was like, yo, what is that recipe? I could not remember how to make it. Like, can you and she told me it all, and I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I made it, and it's fire. And every time I make it, it's fire. And I made it 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago, and it's delicious. And I'm about to finish those leftovers right now. But yeah, Marisol, we're gonna get into that half sleeve thing, because I'm curious. Also, I have no idea how the video looked today, so hopefully it was good. At least the audio should be good, but had so many errors on my end. I don't know anymore, man. I'm just trying to keep it going, but sometimes these technology just is discouraging. So I don't know. We'll keep trying. Hopefully you still like my voice and still hearing my thoughts and things. And hopefully, what day is today? Wednesday. Hopefully, let's see. Tomorrow I'm going to the gym, so I won't be streaming tomorrow. Friday, probably not. Let's do Saturday. I'm guessing Saturday I'll be here. Maybe a Saturday afternoon stream. Something like that. Maybe between like 3 and 6. But we'll see. Maybe just chatting. Although maybe we'll talk about, I don't know. Maybe we will. No, we probably won't talk about love. One day we'll talk about love. One day we'll talk about romance. Talk about romance in your 30s. It'll be a short talk. I'm just kidding. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you guys for being here. And if you're listening to this after the fact, glad you're here too. Hope this brings some enjoyment. I know it's like I don't know, this I guess turned into 75% like just life talk and like 25% jokes. So that's a good balance. That's kind of who I am in general. So I'm good. I'm glad it's translating to this. But